Hi dear students, in the last class we discussed that the narrator had a strange experience in his life. What was that? The white boy was giving some orders to the black boy, and without any hesitation the black boy accepted all the commands given by the white boy. And in today's class we will discuss the reason behind why the black boy obeyed all the commands given by the white boy. Take page number 67. Was it that even at this early age he sensed that in his own country he would be at the white man's beck and call? Beck and call means ready to obey. So the first reason according to the narrator is that whether the black boy is aware that in his own country, Jamaica is the country of black people. So that is why the author or the narrator says that in his own country, whether the black boy sensed that he is inferior to the white boy, he would be at the white man's beck and call. That means just like a servant, whether the black boy realized that he is just a servant of white boy. And then the second reason, could he in such youth divine a difference between himself and the white boy? Divine means guess, whether in his such a youth time or such a young time, whether he is able to understand, whether he is able to guess the differences between the white boy and the black boy, between himself and the white boy. Himself means we can understand he is a black boy. So the second point according to the narrator is that whether the black boy is aware or whether he is able to guess the differences between the black boy and the white boy. And the third one, did the little white youngster, so young, such a baby, realize that he would grow to dominate the black man? Now it is connected with the white boy, and the narrator feels that whether in such a young age the white boy is aware about he is going to dominate the black boy. And the fourth one, was there an indefinable quality in the white man that enabled his baby, smaller and younger than his playmate, to make him his slave? Indefinable means impossible to describe or define. That means a higher quality. The narrator feels that whether is there any indefinable or higher quality in the white man that enabled his boy to think that the black is his slave. And these all were the four questions that were going on in the mind of the narrator, and through these questions he was just trying to find out the answer why the dark boy obeyed all the orders from the white boy. The first one, he thought that whether the black realized or sensed that he is supposed to be at the beck and call of the white boy. And the second one, whether the black boy he realized or guessed the differences between the black and white in such a younger age. And the third one, whether the white boy he is aware about that he is supposed to dominate the black boy in the future in a younger age itself. And the fourth one, the author says that whether is there any indefinable, a higher quality in the white man to make the black man a slave. But the narrator couldn't find any answer. I could find no answer. I could not bring myself to believe such a thing, and yet with my own eyes I had seen a little dark boy take orders from little white boy. A little white boy, obviously his social equal and younger and smaller. The narrator was not able to find an answer why the black boy was accepting all the orders from the white boy, because both were in equal status and the white boy he was younger than the black boy. Then the racial discrimination comes into his mind. Were we as a race really inferior? Whether our race is so inferior? The narrator is a Jamaican, a black Jamaican person. That is why he thinks that whether we are inferior to whom? Whether we are inferior to white people. So inferior that even in our infancy we realized our deficiencies and accepted a position as the white man's servant. So the narrator was not able to find out any answer, and he concluded that there is a racial discrimination, whether we are just inferior to the white people, and we are so inferior even in our childhood we realize our deficiencies. Deficiencies means lack of something, and accepted the fact that we are the servant of white people. So that was the answer to all questions. Why the black boy obeyed all the orders from white boy? What is that? The blacks are so inferior to white people, and even in the younger age, the black realize that they are the servant of white people. But the truth about this we will come to know later only. For a whole day I puzzled over this problem. For a whole day my faith in my peoples was shaken. When I passed by that afternoon, the little boys were not there. That evening I thought deeply on the subject. For a whole day I puzzled over this problem. What is the problem? It is about the racial discrimination, and he felt that whether the black boy, he is supposed to be the servant of the white people. For a whole day, my faith in my people was shaken. My faith in my people here means my faith in Jamaicans. Why? Even at a younger age, the Jamaican realized that they are the servant of white people. When I passed by that afternoon, the little boys were not there. The boys were not there in the afternoon. That evening, I thought deeply on the subject. And what is the subject mentioned here? It is about the racial discrimination, whether the black is supposed to be the servant of white people. And the next morning, the boys were there again, and a man was standing at the gate watching them. Same as the narrator watched the boys, one man was standing behind the boys and he was watching the boys. The next morning when narrator started walking, and I stopped and looked just to see what the white boy was making his little servant do. The narrator was his way to the tramcar lines, but since the boys were there, he just stopped there and he wanted to know what the white boy is forcing black boy to do. To my utter astonishment, utter surprise, the little dark boy was staring imperiously up and down the lawn, while the white youngster walked abjectly behind him. To narrator's surprise or astonishment, he noticed that day the black boy was giving commands to white boy, and white boy was just obeying, and he was just walking behind the black boy abjectly. Abjectly means without any hope. So the first day what he saw there, the white boy was giving orders to black boy, and the next day he found that now the black boy is giving orders to white boy, and he was totally surprised. Get me a banana. The little white boy ran into the house and reappeared shortly with a banana. Peel it for me. The little white boy skinned the banana and handed to his dark master. So total contrast we can see. The first day, the narrator saw that the white boy was giving some commands to the black boy, and the black boy was obeying all the orders. And from that incident, he thought that there is a racial discrimination and the blacks are inferior in Jamaica. And he thought over that subject for the whole day. But in the next day, what happened? The black boy is giving orders to white boy. Again, the narrator was puzzled and he was totally confused. And in the next class, we will discuss what is the truth behind this incident. Thank you. Have a nice day.